Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just want to give a huge shout out to all my new subscribers. In my last video, I mentioned that I only had 3 subscribers and now I have 70. So yeah, holy shit. That's a lot more people than I talk to on like a weekly basis. So thank you for that. The original video for this gun actually passed 1,000 views. So thank you to all who watched it, liked, commented, and all that. I really appreciate it. I apologize for the bug bite on my hand. It is the first day of the summer and they're out early. So it's been about 3 months since I picked this pistol up from the gun show, and so far I've managed to put about 800 rounds through it. I was hoping to be over 1,000 by now, but with everything that's going on, it's kind of gotten harder to get down to the range. I haven't been able to shoot as much as I wanted to. As always, before I start handling the gun, I want to do a safety check. So we're gonna drop the magazine. We are going to lock the slide to the rear and check that the chamber is clear. Just put my finger right there in the chamber. You see that it's clear. It's also a little dirty because I just shot it. All right, now that we are clear, we can go ahead and get started with this update. Right off the bat, you may have noticed that I still have to pull the magazine out of the chamber. They do not fall free when you press the magazine release. It just kind of nudges it out, but you still have to pull the magazine out. And then when you insert the magazine, there is a little bit of, you see that right there? There's a little bit of resistance. So you kind of really got to slam it home every single time. All right, let's go ahead and break down the pistol. So once again, I'm gonna drop the magazine. I'm going to pull down on both tabs on both sides here. Then disengage your slide, pull the trigger, allow the slide to come forward slightly and pull straight up. Now if we take a closer look, you can see that it's still pretty clean. I just fired 200 rounds through it today to test out how secure the red dot is. Yeah, not bad. I wouldn't say I need to clean this right away. I might add a little bit of Remington gun oil, maybe just a little bit. To reassemble, you're just gonna wanna take your slide, line up that notch in the slide with this finger memory position on the frame. Line those up and then rack your slide and you're back. Pretty straightforward. Just always remember that you should be lining up this notch in the slide with this finger rest position on the frame. I make sure to lubricate this gun every 300 rounds, so I've cleaned it about 3 or 4 times I think since I've gotten it. Some people think that might be overkill, but I just like to keep my guns clean. I haven't encountered any malfunctions with this gun since I did the magazine spring change back in March. Since this thing feeds flawlessly now. For those of you who are not familiar, you can check out that video. Basically all I did was I changed the 15 round magazine spring and I put it inside of the 12 round magazine spring. You can see the rubbing where when you put the magazine into, see right about there where those scratches are, that's where the resistance starts on the magazine well, and you really got to push through. So I'm not sure if they just got the wrong measurements for their magazines, or maybe they just figured it would be easier to say that these are compatible with all magazines from their other series, but realistically it would have been better if they made them a little bit thinner, especially at the base. Now before I get into the upgrades I made, I just want to be clear that this is not at all a sponsored video. All these opinions are mine and mine alone. My opinion is not for sale and never will be for sale. All of the internal components on this pistol are still stock from the day I got it. I'm still a huge fan of the Canik TP9 triggers out of the box. It's performed flawlessly. It still has that crisp trigger, pull, break, and reset. Take up. There's a catch right there before you hit your wall. There's your wall. Break. And then your reset. This is right there. Break. Reset. Break. Reset. Break. So that's pretty crisp still. It's after 1,000 rounds. Nothing has changed. On the outside, I went ahead and added some Talon grips, the rubberized grips to the hand grip here on the frame. Goes all the way around the grip. And I really like how the texture matches the texture on the frame for the finger memory pad here and the texture on the sight as well. So it gives it that really nice look with this sight. I also added the Talon rubberized grips to the 15 round mag with the extended base plate, just to show you that's what it looks like with the 15 round extended mag in it. I originally picked up this pistol to mount a red dot on it and put it in my carry rotation. Some of you mentioned in the comments on the last video, the options for inside the waistband holsters were slim. Luckily, I managed to find out about SmokeyMountainConcealment. They make custom Kydex holsters for the TP9 SC that actually come pre-cut here for optics, to accept optics. So for anybody that was looking for a good holster to use with the Canik, I highly recommend these SmokeyMountainConcealment Kydex holsters. They come in a variety of color options. I chose the black and then the little purple accent here. There is even a little bit of clearance here, if you can see, on the sight from the holster, so you don't have to worry about the lens element coming into contact with the Kydex there. Speaking of optics, you may have noticed that I finally received my Sig RomeoZero optic that I've been waiting for a while. This sight was on back order pretty much everywhere since January, and I put my order in at the beginning of April, and I didn't even receive it until the first week of June. I want to give a shout out to Proven Arms and Outfitters for hooking it up with the excellent customer service. I've fired about 200 rounds since attaching the sight, and I have no issues with my zero being affected or any wobble from the sight at all. As far as accuracy goes, I am by no means a pistol marksman. I did use a bore sight laser to sight in the RomeoZero, and it was sighted in perfectly for me at 10 yards, which is what I consider normal use range for a subcompact carry pistol. I also want to note that this is the first time I've ever used an optic on one of my own pistols, so I do appreciate the ability to co-witness with my iron sights. The advertised battery life is 20,000 hours. What's cool about the RomeoZero is that it features a motion detection, which turns the dot off after 2 minutes of inactivity. With this feature, Sig states that the battery will last up to 10 years, which is pretty great because that's one less battery for me to worry about in my never-ending collection of battery-operated gear. One thing I want to note before I end this is when you're carrying this pistol, especially in this holster, the rear sight is just sticking up on its own, and this Canik has serrated rear sights. This part right here on the sight will rub against your skin if you're carrying it anywhere in the 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock position. So that's just something I wanted to note that did bother me in the beginning. And that'll conclude my update. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions. I really enjoyed engaging with you guys in the last video. I really appreciate the positivity in the comments on the other videos. If you made it to the end of this video, check out some of the others that I've made and be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll also be replying to comments, so make sure you let me know if there's anything I didn't cover in this video so I can include it in the next one. That's all from me. Stay safe, carry on, and peace. Drop the slide and engage the trigger, push slide forward, and not do it like that. Like YouTube motherfuckers be like, I like to add a little bit of color to my scene. Yeah.